Excuse me, can you take those headphones off? You're distracting the rest of the class. Oh, they're an accommodation. I'm not listening to music. Yes, I know they're an accommodation, but I can't let everybody walk around with headphones. They're only an accommodation for people that have sensory needs, like autistic people. Yeah. Yeah, so... Oh.
Autistic, we're going to be completely obsessed with our areas of interest.
We're an autism family. We are going to travel to the AKC National Championship.
We're autistic. We can tell you every breed of dog and a fun fact about them.
We're an autism family. We have learned to love hearing random facts about the different dogs.
We're autistic. We're going to use our knowledge on a subject to interact with lots of people.
We're an autism family. Sometimes we're going to help coordinate those interactions.
We're autistic. As long as you're awake, we're going to talk to you about dogs.
We're an autism family. As long as we're awake, we're going to be listening to you talk about dogs.
We're autistic. Our specialized interest offers us a place to excel in the face of challenges.
We're an autism family. We're going to celebrate you for the wins and support you for the losses.
I can't be what you need. I am scarred in a dream. I am scarred in a dream.
Ironically, despite having autism, you know, the disorder that complicates communication, I spoke early at the age of 8 months, and I haven't shut up since. I've got words for days. Don't like my words? I've got different ones. Other autistic people are not always so lucky. They can't just change their wording if it doesn't come out right the first time. In fact, many can't even word to begin with. Because of this, I'd like to offer you some translation from my own perspective. Some autistic people can't say, I need sensory pressure right now. Instead, they may tense up their muscles, roll around on the floor, or insist on wearing a jacket. Some autistic people can't say, I feel overstimulated. Instead, they might become hyperactive or withdrawn and quieter. Some autistic people can't expand on an explanation when asked for clarification. Instead, they may get defensive, louder, or even combative. Some don't know how to say, I feel distressed when you don't understand what I say because I'm afraid I don't have other words to explain it any better. Consider this to be your reminder that autistic people seeking to get their needs met is not always done in a way that's palatable for other people. Sometimes it's not even understandable by other people. If you're in a position to help autistic people self-advocate, watch for these moments that don't initially feel like self-advocacy because that's where it's needed the most.
Meet me at our spots. Caught a vibe. Yeah. Baby, are you coming for the ride? I just wanna look into your eyes. I just wanna stay for the night. We catch a
Just hyperfocus and binge this entire new series as we see it on Amazon Prime Video. And it was literally, first of all, an incredible representation of autistic experiences. The three main characters are played by actually autistic actors, which is the representation we've been waiting for. I'm also autistic and I related so heavily to this character, Jack's experience. He calls his boss an idiot in the middle of a meeting and then is forced to apologize. Tell me about a time you blurted out something you shouldn't have at work. I'll go first. Admittedly, I never called my boss an idiot, but we were in the middle of like a big staff meeting and they were explaining a new policy or something and I just blurted out, that literally makes no sense. The managers immediately glared at me and started defending the decision, and that's when I realized, wow, that was definitely not something I was supposed to say. Stitch this and share your work story and go watch As We See It. The entire thing is streaming now on Prime Video.
What happened if everybody faked autism?
Hi, I have autism. Okay. So what do I get? Well, you could get some noise-canceling headphones, more alone time. You could get some notification before a big change happens. I'm not really interested in any of that. What about attention? Can I get attention? Yeah, I mean, you could get people invalidating your experience, generally with a lot of rage, or you could have pity and infantilization. Is that the kind of attention you're looking for? Well, that doesn't sound fun at all. What about like accommodations, extra support, medication? Yeah, you're gonna need a formal diagnosis for that. Do you have that? Oh, no, I don't have that. What about just like community, people who really understand me? Yeah, sure, you could be with autistic people talking about experiences that you also experience. Yeah, that actually doesn't sound like fun because I'm faking autism for some reason. Okay, but how do you know for sure that you're autistic? Well, let me ask you something. How do you feel about water? Water? Drinking water. How do you feel about it? It's good for you. You should drink it. Do you have a favorite? Do I have a favorite? No, water is water. It all tastes the same. It doesn't have a taste. Oh no, all water does not taste the same. And in fact, tap water is extremely, extremely unpredictable. What? I can tell by the taste of your tap water if you have excess sediment in your lines. I can tell if your pipes are rusty. I can tell how far away from the processing plant you are. I can tell how much chlorine is in your water. If you live in a rural area, I can tell if something died 5 miles upstream from your water source. Ew, that's gross. Yeah, it is. Okay, well, fine. So tap water's disgusting. I can understand that. But surely bottled water is fine. I mean, that's clean. Doesn't it taste clean? No, I don't drink bottled water either. I've gotten sick from it 3 times, 3 different brands actually, and all 3 times it made me feel like when I swallowed soap. Okay, so, but if you're not drinking water, I'm a little worried about you. You do drink some kind of water, don't you? Well, I drink seltzer water like LaCroix, and I drink a lot of green tea. I don't drink seltzer water at bars because that's just carbonated tap water and it still tastes like tap water, which I think is disgusting. Interesting. Okay, so we've talked about water, right? Now, what do you think about noodles? What's your favorite noodle? Noodles? No, it's fine. I believe you. We don't need to talk about how different noodles taste.
Hey, I'm autistic. You're autistic. You want to go for a walk? I don't know about you, but as an autistic person, I constantly feel like I'm not living up to my potential. Like I could be doing more. Like there's this deep feeling inside me that maybe I'm fundamentally flawed. So to overcompensate for that, I have to be either extremely knowledgeable and work my ass off, or I don't do anything. And when I don't do anything, people call me lazy, and then I isolate and then have no friends. Perfectionism or procrastination. Like, I inherently know that no one's here to be perfect, but why does it feel like the bar is so high? I think when you grow up and you have different values and different thinking from your family, well, you better be right, because you learn growing up that if you're right, then they're wrong. So if you're going to be right, you have to be perfect. You got to know everything. You got to make sure you're absolutely right. So this whole time, you never had the space to be mediocre. Quick break. Look at the trees. Man, look at those trees. All right, let's keep going. So it makes sense why we have that constant self-doubt or that constant imposter syndrome. And then we have all or nothing thinking, where it's either like, I'm either really good at this or I'm not going to do it at all. And then when you start trying something, you start catastrophizing and immediately thinking of the worst scenarios or the best. Maybe it's time to give yourself permission to be mediocre. Give yourself permission to be average, because you are safe to be seen while trying. Cool, well, thanks for walking with me.